In light of the team's ups and downs, Calipari, however, is reaching out to somebody interesting to help. Kentucky fans, saying he needs their help against Tennessee. Following the Missouri loss, Cal posted tweets to fans asking for patience with his young squad as they endure the growing pains of a freshman team. He explained the 20 turnovers against the Tigers were good, and he promises to turn things around. He's also calling on fans and students to pack Rupp Arena and stand up for the whole game, well, at least the last 8 minutes. What do you think of Cal's appeal?
The fans in Rupp Arena should be disappointed in themselves that the coach has to call them out and ask them to cheer. I mean, if we're this big fan base, the best fan base in basketball, you shouldn't have your coach saying, hey, will you please stand up and cheer for us at the next game?
But don't you agree, and I don't say this to make anybody mad, but don't you agree, though, that the fans in Rupp do need an injection of energy?
I completely agree. The Vandy game, they were sitting on their hands as Vandy went up, 16 points. They like to cheer when something good happens, but sometimes the players, especially players this young, need some encouragement. You got to will them to victory.
He did this one other time, and that was in 2013 before they played Missouri. Coincidentally, that's the only time during the time he's been here that they've been a home underdog. I think they might be a home underdog tomorrow. Do you think fans will do what they did against Missouri and stand up the last 8 minutes? They did it 5 years ago. Will they do it tomorrow night?
They will be standing, but I bet a good majority of them aren't going to enjoy standing. They're just going to do it because everyone else is doing it. They want to be able to see. I don't think they'll really be into it.
I just would like to have one night where it's loud and special from start to finish. Not just during the final run, but from start to finish. We can do that. Hopefully they will. Now, Super Bowl Sunday brought some controversy for the Kentucky State Police. The organization had to apologize for a tweet sent out during last night's game aimed at discouraging drunk driving. The tweet read, "Enjoy watching Rob Gronkowski play, but if you drink and drive, your tight end may end up in jail." It included a picture of a dropped soap on a rope, which many believe to be a reference to prison rape. Now, the tweet remained up for 2 hours before the Courier-Journal did a story, and it was pulled. Then Kentucky State Police came out and apologized. Do you think they should have?
Of course. When someone told me about this, I hadn't seen it yet, and they read me the tweet. I'm like, well, that's not that bad. And then I saw that there's the soap on the rope, and that is way too far.
Yeah, the tight end reference would have been funny, but when you put the soap, you're basically saying if you go to prison, you're going to get raped, and we at the Kentucky State Police are cool with it.
Yeah, we're making light of it on the internet.
We're making light. You can't do that. Now, to the State Police credit, they came out and apologized immediately. And it is, I don't think people should overreact too much because it's just probably some kid that's running their Twitter account. So if they hadn't apologized, I'd be more upset. I don't think it's as huge a deal now.
Yeah, it's not the whole police force. This is just one employee that thought they were being funny and didn't really consider it.
Here's the thing. Unless you're funny, don't try to be funny. Because then you end up doing prison rape jokes, which don't really work in today's society. Now, turning to politics. Governor Matt Bevins spoke out on the state's opioid crisis and other topics today. He said his office wants to cooperate with Attorney General Andy Beshear on fighting drug companies in court, even though both men have been at odds on many other issues. The governor also talked about the amount of money he wants Kentucky to spend on battling addiction. Take a listen.
Among other things, is in the budget that I just put forward a couple weeks ago, $34 million in this biennium that's being proposed to fight this epidemic. Is $34 million going to do it? There is no amount of money alone that's going to address this, but it is significantly more money than has ever been put into this.
I have to say, the people that stand behind the governor and I always wonder what's on their mind. Bevin also made a decision to terminate the $240,000 no-bid contract he gave to a state adoption czar after just 7 months on the job. He admitted the $60,000 buyout may seem outrageous, but the state got what it needed. Now, these are two separate things. On the adoption thing, that dude should not have gotten $240,000, and we had to pay him $60,000 to go away. That strikes me maybe as a mistake.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't understand this deal at all. That guy made out well here in Kentucky.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we have 1 million more adoptions thanks to him. Like, are there kids? There are no more adopted kids. On the first thing, though, one thing I was glad to see Bevin say that he wants to work with Beshear on these opioid cases, because I do believe if there's any issue that everyone in the state should be able to unify on, it is preventing and fixing this opioid crisis.
Yeah, I think we all know someone who's addicted. I've known people who have already passed that are my age, which is terribly sad. It's happening everywhere. I like that they're coming together and they've made this a priority because it is getting out of hand.
It would be nice if both men, I have a challenge to both men, Bevin and Beshear, stand next to each other get over the fact you hate each other, and stand up and show a unified front on this. I think the state needs it, and I think they should do it. Now, it's been a long road, but we're finally going to have the finale of the Hey Kentucky casting call this week, only 17 years after we started. Join us on Wednesday night. We'll tell you who won the competition. You may have seen a lot of characters since we started, and Kathleen and Josh both hosted the show with me last week. They both did a great job. We will name the winner on Wednesday night, and they will join the rotation of co-hosts here, eventually making way for Drew Franklin to go back to from wherever he came.
Am I getting fired?
Well, I mean, I didn't have any other way to tell you this,
Oh,
so I
great.
figured like this would be the easiest,
nice knowing you.
easiest way. But it's been good having you.
Thanks.
Up next on Hey Kentucky, everyone's got an opinion about them. Last night's Super Bowl ads. We're going to tell you which one stood out, which one we liked, and what Kentuckian was a big part of it. That's next.